Hey guys, Sean again, Custom Offsets TV on the YouTube. Got a vehicle spotlight for you today. It's a 2014 Chevy Silverado 1500. This one's gonna have one of those level lifts, so it's level in the front and then brought back up in the rear with the blocks. And then he somehow got 20x12's and 32.5s to fit with no rub, no trim. Let's go.
Trucks decked out, rolling through the wood and it flexed out. Rims so big and the windows black, got the knob all lit up, double chromed out stacks. Yeah, we love to get them dirty, but still they so clean. Custom offsets, keep dances, the genie on top of it now. We ain't never gon' fade, so you better get ready for taking over the game.
Okay guys, like I said, we got a 2014 Chevy Silverado on this 1500. What he did on this one is called a level lift. So it's a leveling kit up front, but rather than the typical 2.5 inch level, this one does both the upper coil spacer and then the lower spacer as well, which brings up the entire front of the truck 3 inches. If you were to do just that and leave the back as is, you would basically have that squatted look. So what they do is they also put in the larger block in the back, and what you end up with is a completely leveled truck, but it's brought the entire thing up. And what it also does is it means you can fit this big wide shit inside of this square wheel well that Chevy came out with. So what he's got here, go on that side, Junior, I'm feeling froggy. We always do it from that way. So he's got 20x12 -44, and this is the RDRs. They always have a good size lip on them, so it's right around 6 inches of lip. And it's a -44 offset. And then the tire he's got on here is the 285/55. So when we figured that out, it's basically a 32.3 by 11.2. What that means is he's a shy under, ½ inch under a 33. And then he's another or was that like an 1.25 inch narrower than a 12.5. What that did, if you look at the sidewall, is it stretched this tire just a little bit. And this is an Atturo Trail Blade Xt. And remember, we've told you before, the Atturos run a little bit narrow. So that pulls the tire down because you're stretching it like that. And if you look on the back, Junior, he made it so that he's got a 12 wide on a leveled Chevy with 32.3s, and he didn't rub. Basically, he said tearing out of the driveway in reverse, Dukes of Hazzard style, is the only time it rubs. Otherwise, it clears. So that 285/55 would be the answer if you want 12 wides, no trimming, and you go with the level lift where you've got the full 3 inches up front and then you bring up the rear 2 inches. So, you know, this is gonna be one that we'll tag it on there as basically a perfect fit because he's got that in there where it almost does not rub, and he's running the 12 wides. I'm still having a hard time with it, that's why I keep repeating it. So it's basically the perfect fitment for these Chevys when you're trying to get it in there and not do any trimming. And then he's done a bunch of other really clean mods on this one. He's got the Anzo front lights, and that's that U-shaped accent glow. You can see he did the bow tie in black, just basically plasti dip. You have 2 choices with these. They've got all these dimples in here, so you could put vinyl on there. The problem with vinyl is it doesn't suck into all the little pockets, so it kind of has a weird schmeary look. And plasti dip actually looks significantly cleaner because you can apply it thick enough and then it covers up all those dimples and lays flatter. He's got 35% tint on the windshield and then 20% on the front to match the factory 20% on the rear windows and on the back window. And then you can see the side steps. He went with the iron cross. These are pretty slick. They're really straight angled. So rather than your typical step tubes, These you'll see have really sharp angles to them, which to me is perfect for a Silverado because the Silverados have, you know, the square wheel wells and the squared off headlights and everything. So it's a perfect match for that truck. And then tail lights are the Spider, and you can see they've got the smoked lenses. So it's a clear lens, but it's got a smoked lens to it. And then it's got a black housing inside of there. And then again with these Spider tail lights, they've got almost the U shape that matches out with the headlights really well. And then you can see same thing with the rear bow ties. And then he's got a tonneau cover on there that lays almost perfectly flush as well. So that's cool because it just kind of tucks in there. Looks like that's tonneau sport. There's a billion tonneau covers out there. We just got one for CO2. We'll be installing and bringing to you guys once we restart that build. So just look down the side of it, Junior, probably from the front. I thought these 12 wides would stick out more, but I think because of the tire size, it's actually keeping a good amount of the tread inside the wheel wells, which is nice because you're not spraying everything up the side of the truck, but it's still giving it a really wide stance look without running all that stuff up the side of the truck and throwing rocks up the side of the truck. So I'm actually surprised at how much that doesn't stick out, but it still has the perfect look to it. You want to see the interior, Junior? So this is the LT package. You can see it's got the LCD screen, steering wheel controls. I really like the Chevy interiors for these models. And then for exhaust, he basically did muffler all the way back, so cat back. And it's got a Flowmaster 40 up underneath there. And then he came out with duals outside the back of the muffler. And it sounds amazing. These trucks have a couple of resonators in them. So by replacing from there all the way back, he replaced not only the muffler, but also the resonator that they have towards the back of here. Some guys were just trying to remove that muffler and it wasn't helping that much because it still had a resonator back by the tailpipe. So they were really let down when they got done with that, but he replaced all of that, which helps and sounds really good. Did I miss anything? I think that's pretty much it. Clean truck, good looking truck. I think the black in the headlights and tail lights and bow ties and everything just made the truck simpler. It brought it down to just two colors, black and chrome, and cleaned up the whole look of the truck. You know, I say all the time, this is what I think they should look like when they're coming from the factory. I don't know why they don't make them like this, but I'm glad they don't because then they can be more unique. So that's it. 12 wides, negative 44s, 2. I want to relook at it. I keep forgetting. I think it's 285, 65? 55. 285, 55, 20s, 12 wides, negative 44s, level lift, and they fit on Chevys without rubbing. Remember that. You're going to want to know that. Peace.